Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Peace and love. Um, that's so funny when I can hear the playback. I'm gonna give it a few minutes to allow some of you to pile in. Hey, Flame and Speed. You lit? It's Friday. It is Friday. I was trying to debate if I was gonna do TikTok too. I do have it pulled up. I'll probably do it, but I'm trying to get it to where they can see how are y'all doing tonight. Did I give y'all enough notice? I tried to make the post as early as possible. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Mr. Merchant. Hi, Her Legacy. Hi, Anonymous. Hi, Sharifa. Cinerella, hello. Faso Mo, hello, hello, hello. How are you all doing this evening? Happy to see you all are here. Peace and love, peace and love. Y'all bring me so much joy. I just want y'all to know. You really, really bring me so much joy. So much joy. Hi, Gisette. Hi, 3220 Marie. Divine Legacy, hello. La Law, hello. Hello, hello. Right, so that we're gonna talk about that tonight. Her legacy. We are going to talk about it tonight. There's been some things that are going on that I wanted to share with y'all, and I'm trying to stay optimistic. Let me turn. And just stay on the path, you know, because sometimes, you know, we get a lot of distractions and different things going on. Hey, Curtis. And sometimes it's hard. It's just, it can be a little bit difficult, you know. Hi, peace and love, peace and love. I hope that you all have had a phenomenal week. I'm trying to wind down. I'm trying to wind myself down from this week. Yeah, I haven't been getting a lot of rest, but I slept in this morning because I needed to. Because my son is now in high school, and I've been getting up with him in the morning to make sure that he gets his school bus. And that school bus comes at 6:15 in the morning. So yeah, getting up early at 5 a.m. Make sure that he's up to make sure that he gets his bus. Because the new school, he's in ninth grade, so the new school is further away, you know. And I told him, I'm like, look, you're gonna have to get up because I can't take you to school every morning like I used to, you know, because it's just I just can't do it. So he's older now, so his school day goes from 7:15 to 2:15. Big boy club now, you know. So I'm like, yeah, you got to get yourself up to school. You got to get up. You got to get your own breakfast. You got to pack your own lunch. It's a whole bunch of stuff that you got to do now for yourself because I'm not doing it anymore. But he's cool with that. He ain't complaining too much. Not very much at all. Actually, he's a good kid. He's my only. I only have one child. He's 14. And I'm so proud of him. So I try to support him. Yeah. I know we definitely do need help. We need help. But it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You know, that's why we gotta sort of pull together, um, and really just get it done. Just get it done. You're welcome. He says, Tamara, I want to thank you so much for the Florida block and remove method. I couldn't get them to remove it over the phone, but within 30 days, everything came off. Listen, I got some more fire for y'all on the credit side. I have been studying more, and there is some additional methods that we could use that is going to be just as effective, but with, well, yeah, you can still get it done in the first round. You can still get it done in the first round. What I'm finding is that if you send out the right letter in the beginning, then yes, you can definitely get it done. And at the end of the day, it is still surrounding the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, which is 15 U.S.C. 6802, the right to privacy. It's all based on the right to privacy. Because at the end of the day, that is pretty much what the bottom line is. It's that you have a right to privacy, and it is that they're supposed to give you those disclosures, those forms that you need, which will give you the ability to opt out, which they never do. So from the beginning, that's what we should be asking for. We should be asking for that. And then when they don't furnish it, because we know that they cannot furnish it, because we know that they never gave it to us, then that takes us to the next step, right? That takes us to the next step. So, yeah. And so that is information that I'll be covering on this channel and other places. Lena J is actually, if you go to the video that I did here on the YouTube channel entitled Clean Your Credit Report in 48 Hours, that's where everyone got that process from. I literally broke it down step by step, like literally step by step on what needs to be done and how to do it. And it's going to require some persistence, because even after you submit the documentation, like the letter and the identity theft report, you still will want to hop on the phone, because as soon as you can confirm that they've received your letter and the identity theft report, which is typically submitted through the CFPB, because the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is a communication portal, right? They'll forward the information to the company a lot faster than it will take for them to receive it by mail. So you could literally submit your paperwork on Monday, call them on Tuesday, and have your document or have your consumer report updated over the phone. Yes, so definitely go and check out that video. I've been getting a lot of testimonies regarding that method, because I know it's effective. Now, one of the other things, hi Christy, one of the other things is that there's an old identity theft affidavit floating around that used to be on the FTC report years ago. And that was what I used to use back when I started doing credit repair. All like from the beginning, like when I first started doing credit repair, that affidavit, and it's an actual affidavit that you have to get notarized, but it's multiple pages, right? You get it notarized, you list all of your accounts, and you actually have to mail it in. Based on what I have seen with this new form that they have on the FTC website, the old form is much more effective because it's an affidavit that is actually notarized. Is notarized, right? The way that they have it written in the code, they say that they need an identity theft report. So the FTC furnishes that, so that you can be in compliance with the law when claiming identity theft. But that affidavit of identity theft is much more powerful than just the basic identity theft report. And it's so weird because it's like it's like they took the affidavit down and put this identity theft report up. It's almost like they did it to sort of slow us down, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Because that identity theft affidavit would literally clear everything off. it would literally clear everything off. Oh yeah. It's definitely out there. It is out there. Let me see if I can find it. It's definitely still out there. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out why they even took it down in the first place, but I get it. You know, they're trying to preserve whatever it is that they have going on and keep this system, you know, keep this system going. Here. They're trying to keep the system going. And it's amazing too, because you all know that the IRS has an identity theft affidavit as well. They definitely do. I love how y'all all come in and you got your questions ready to go. I love that about y'all. Y'all are so good to me. Let's see, I think this is it right here. No, this one is it right here. And it's not even available anymore on, I mean, maybe somebody else, you know, can look to see if it's available on the FTC website, but this is what the form looks like. Just so that y'all can get a glimpse of what it looks like. All right, can y'all see my screen? Put a 1 in the chat if you can see my screen. Remove the screen over real quick so I can, hold on. There it is. You'll need to be able to see your comments. Okay, let's see. Okay, can y'all see the screen? Put a 1 in the chat if you can see it. And there is definitely a delay on my end because I see that the screen just popped up. So my apologies for that. It might be my bandwidth. Yeah, and so that's why I always submit it through the CFPB flaming speed, because it is undeniable. They will receive it if you submit a complaint through the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They'll definitely receive it. So all I can tell you is try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Definitely try again. But this is it right here. Right? You see how detailed it is? It's very detailed. Yep, I did not authorize anyone to use. I did not receive. I am not willing to work. Nope, we ain't doing none of that. Because remember, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And you don't know anything about the person that stole your information. The more information you give them, the more difficult they're going to make it for you to get your business taken care of. You just want to report the transactions. You just want to get in and out, right? But this is what I remember the first time I used this form. The first time I used this form to claim my own credit, they wiped my entire report clean, like clean, just poof, gone. Everything was just gone. Yep, and if you all want to look this up, it is identity theft affidavit. That's what you want to look up. And same rules apply. You don't need a police report, right? You don't need any of that. Right? And I would still file your complaint on the FTC website so that they have a record of it. So this is in addition to, because you see they're asking for the FTC complaint number, so you want to be able to fill that in. So you want to do this first. right? Yep. And this is the affidavit part, and this is where you take it and get it notarized. This is the exact form. I don't think this form has an ID number. I don't remember seeing one at the top. But yeah, if you Google identity theft affidavit, this is going to be the one that pops up, and you want to pay attention that you're looking to the right one, because that average time to complete, that's going to be in the upper right-hand corner. That's always been there. They haven't changed this form in years. It's still the same form, and it's still very much so effective. Right? Yeah. So I hope that that was helpful. Okay, so what do we have? You said I watched the contracts video, part 1 and 2. Should that verbiage be included in the contract for installment loans? Which verbiage specifically are you speaking of? Give me more detail. You know, I done did so many videos. I'm trying to figure out if you're talking about the class or if it was a video that I did on YouTube. Oh, you're talking about the you're talking about consumers' preservation of rights. You're talking about the notice of rescission. You're speaking of the form that they're required to give you to opt out from consumer reporting. And you're speaking of the cosigner, the cosigner notification. Is that what you're speaking of? Definitely should be included for installment loans. Absolutely. And so those 4 things, like I was explaining before, is reasons why you would rescind, because they're not properly informing you of your rights. They're not preserving your rights. Now, the thing about opting out from consumer reporting, it is supposed to be done prior to that information actually showing up on your report. So yeah, they're not preserving your rights at all. So my approach in terms of these contracts, especially when you're attempting to validate any sort of debt, especially if you're looking to do debt validation, is to ask for these agreements up front. We're going to ask them for the documentation showing the consumer preservation of rights. We're going to ask them for the rescission forms. We're going to ask them for the forms that they're required to provide us to opt out from consumer reporting. We're going to ask them for the verbiage in the contract that outlines the fact that we are co-signing for another person. We have to actually ask them for those forms and cite the law in those forms. Is there a way to get LexisNexis to send me my dang my Babbitt report? I've requested it from them 3 times. So you've requested it online, Divine Legacy? Because so when I order it for my clients, it usually comes in about 2 to 2.5 weeks. It doesn't take very long. And it's so crazy because I just had a client that a lot of people don't even know that this report exists, right? I literally just had a client that I ordered it for, and it was so overwhelming, and she was really, really upset that all of this information that she did not know was reporting. And it was like it was stressing her out, and I just had to reassure her. I said, this is why we have to know who we are. This is why we do what we do, because these people are literally taking advantage of you every single day. And they're buying and selling your information in which you receive no benefit every single day. Oh, you said, wait, but Sharifa, weren't you, somebody posted on my TikTok. I thought it was you. Didn't you post over on my TikTok that you had gotten results? Someone that literally just posted on my TikTok. It was one of my videos that I just did a couple days ago. Flaming Speed, you said, can you still find it? Yeah, y'all come through with y'all testimonials. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It is going to work. I love you too. Capital One, let's see. Let me see what I got. For Capital One, now remember, you're definitely going to also look up the board of directors, right? Because we want to be communicating. So you know how I spoke about doing the DBA, doing the DBA. It's going to go the same when you're dealing with these companies, because you're going to deal with the natural person doing business as the name of whatever company that you're going after, right? So for Capital One, let's see, for Capital One, I have the chairman, who is Richard D. Fairbank. He's the chairman of the board of directors for Capital One. You're going to want to look up who your board of directors is. Now, if there is multiple people on the board, which usually there is, I would look for either the chairman, or they have whoever handles the money, because some of the board members also have the title of CFO. You know, that's who I would look for, either the chair or the person handling the money. And then you address it. So like for Capital One is Richard D. Fairbank doing business as Capital One. That's how you would address that, right? Because you're coming with the surname and the given name as the claimant. But you're also speaking to the man and the woman that is operating the entity, right? Because remember, corporations can't speak. So you want to address it to an individual. Yes, you also send it to the registered agent. I always recommend sending out all of our letters in threes. So I would send it out to the board of directors, the registered agent, and then whatever the, like if there's an address on the back of your statement for disputes, or miscellaneous correspondence or anything like that, I would send it there as well. I would send everything out in threes. And then you're gonna want to keep a fourth copy. You want to keep the original for yourself. Anytime you send out any correspondence, you always want to make a copy of it before you mail it. So because we're getting all of our letters notarized, we're handwriting everything, right? And then we're going to take it and get it notarized. We're going to keep we're going to scan it in if possible, keep the original, make copies, 3 copies, mail them out, registered mail or certified, but I would do registered if possible, so that we can track everything. And I apologize, I have my view here, but I'm looking at my second screen to make sure that I can see your comments. So my apologies if I keep looking to the right. I just want y'all to know that I'm looking to the right because that's where my second screen is. But yeah. So Flaming Speed, I did not go over how to endorse the coupons. Yes, you can. But the thing of the matter is, without all of the prerequisites, and this is why I don't talk about the coupon, because I know how people are. I know how people are. You're going to send that coupon off and then you're going to be like, oh, it didn't work. How did you assert yourself? Did you properly endorse it? Oh, yeah, you can. You can book a consultation for that. Absolutely. Absolutely. My calendar is back open next week. Let me see if I can give you the link. Hold on. So yeah, so I wanted to hop on with you all so that we can have this conversation, because we were so lit in class, like, and my doggone computer keep acting up. I got my computer on the stand. This is a stand that my husband brought me, but I hadn't told him yet that it didn't work. Y'all don't tell him. He'll be like, I thought you said it worked. It worked for a little bit, but now it's these little I don't even know what it's called, but the little sticky things is coming up. So my laptop is not docking correctly on the stand. So crazy. All right, but let me drop this link real quick. I'm happy that you're here too, Flame and Speed. I'm happy that all of y'all are here. I really, really, truly am. I'm just, I don't know. I just, when I started learning certain information, I really just could not keep it to myself. I truly could not keep it to myself. And even still, when I come on video, I still feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not shy, but I don't know. It's like I have to get my mind right to come on video, because this I'm not used to doing this. I know it may seem like I am, but I'm still putting myself out there, and it's still a little intimidating for me. So it's like I know that I'm I will remain obedient and do what I'm being told to do in terms of my instructions that I receive from my creator. But some days I just be like, oh my goodness, I'm not worthy. I guess that's the best way to put it. But I realize that God has already qualified me for the work that I'm doing. I just have to accept that and know and understand that I'm qualified to spread this message. You know, to spread the message that I have. But it can be intimidating for me at times to hop on video. I remember it took me forever just to do my first Facebook Live. And I'm not, and Facebook is not nothing like YouTube. Like, it's not Facebook, it's the way that the algorithm is set up. It's the same few people that see your stuff all the time. But even just doing that, I was like, ooh. And I just finished my last week of speakers training. I actually have gone through speakers training because, and it's so crazy because I didn't know that I needed speakers training. I just knew that I wanted to teach. But when I went through the training, I see why it's necessary. There's so many different nuances with speaking publicly that is, I don't know, it's in order for you to be able to properly relay your message or touch the audience that you were meant to, that was meant to hear your message, there's a lot of inner work that you have to do to be able to really touch people the way that you want to, if that makes sense. And she's trying to get me to be more comfortable with telling my personal story. And I'm like, that, yeah, y'all know before, because I said on here on YouTube before that we have to deal with our trauma. And so part of me going through speaker training, was me having to deal with some of the trauma that I experienced as a child. And it's these are things that I buried. When I tell you I buried these things in the back of my mind, and I just pushed past it, and I tried my best to make sure that it did not affect my relationships. And I'm not just talking about my marriage, I'm talking about my friendships, my relationships with other family members, my relationships with my neighbors. Even when I used to work in corporate America, my relationships with my coworkers, like, it's 360 degrees of the people that are around you that will be affected if you do not properly deal with your trauma. So that speakers training, when I went through that, it was like I was in therapy. Like, legit. It was like, it felt like I was in therapy, which was what I needed. And a lot of us don't get the proper help that we need. There's a cliche surrounding therapy, and they just tell you to go to church, and it's deeper than that. It's not about just going to church. There is some inner work that we have to do. And we really got to look deep, deep, deep. You got to go deep. You know what I mean? I hope that that's making sense. But yeah, it's a lot. It is really a lot. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm dealing with some things in my family right now. I'm gonna just tell y'all this quick story and then I'm gonna get to my announcement, right? So I did a unclaimed, you know how you can do those unclaimed money searches to see if people have abandoned property or unclaimed money in different states, right? So years ago, this was years ago, I did an unclaimed money search for my grandmother. I did it for a lot of people in my family, but I'm telling y'all this specific story because something happened as a result of me doing this search for my grandmother. When I first found out about like the whole unclaimed money thing, I started doing a search on everybody that was in my immediate family, my mom, my dad, my grandmother, blah, blah, blah. I found some money from my uncle. I found some money from my cousin, and I found money from my grandmother. Those is the three people that I found money for out of all the people that I searched for, right? And so it tells you, it gives you a ballpark of how much money it is, and then it tells you what type of, like, where the money is coming from. It could be an old insurance policy, it could be an old bank account, whatever. And so I called her, and I called my grandmother mom. So I called her, I said, hey mom, I said, I did a search on you, and I said, I found something. I said, but it's in the name of your mom, right? My great grandmother's name is Myrtle. And so she said, I said, here's the information. I said, I want you to look into this. I said, because she's the last surviving child of my great grandmother, right? She's the last surviving child. So she is next in line to claim whatever assets my great grandmother had. Okay. So she called the people, spoke to who she needed to speak to. And they told her, they said, well, in order for you to get this money, you're going to have to come up, you got to show a copy of your birth certificate, right? Little did I know that my grandmother had never had a copy of her birth certificate her entire life. Now, my grandmother, she's 78 years old. 78 years old. She never had a copy of her birth certificate. And I'm like, what? And so my auntie tried to order a birth certificate for her from Vital Statistics. And this is Vital Statistics of Louisiana. And the search came back not found. Like they could not find a birth record for her. Like no birth record exists. And we like, no birth record exists? What do you mean? And so we have been on this journey, what, 3 years? Probably about 3 years now, of my grandmother trying to get a copy of her birth certificate. Now, again, this is Louisiana. My grandmother was born in New Orleans. And so a lot of things have transpired in New Orleans, of course. Hurricane Katrina, there were a lot of hospital records that were lost. Her particular hospital that she was born in never reopened after Hurricane Katrina. So whatever documents or whatever they had, birth records or whatever, all of that stuff was destroyed, right, with the flood. So that's part of it. Another part of it is that my grandmother doesn't know. She knows who she's being told her father is, but we don't know if that's really her father. And so when we ordered the birth certificate, we put the names that we knew, the names that we had. And we put down the man's name that they're telling her that her grandfather is, right? And then we put the last name that my great grandmother had. But the thing of the matter is, my great grandmother went by 3 different last names at 3 different times in her life. And so it's absolutely crazy. It's like, okay, we ordered the first birth certificate with the first name, nothing came back. And so we're like, okay, now we're like, well, shoot, we need to go try to order the other birth certificate. We need to try to order it with each different variation based on the last name that she had. My grandmother was born in 1944. And so it's just been a hot mess. So when I was in Buffalo, I went to go renew my son's passport while I was in Buffalo, because it's easier for me to get it done in Buffalo, because in North Carolina, you have to make an appointment and you may be scheduled 60 days out, right? And so my grandmother found out that I was going to renew my son's passport. And she's like, oh, I want to go. She was like, I want to get my passport too. And I said, Ma, I started asking her a series of questions, because I needed to get her to understand that you need your birth certificate to go and get your passport. So I didn't just outright say that. I just started asking her questions, and I led up to that because I didn't want to devastate her, right? Where she'd be like, oh my God. And it still ended up happening anyway, because she got totally upset that she didn't have her birth certificate again, and that she needed it to go get her passport. And so this was just recently. So ever since August, we have been at this every day, trying to get closer to finding out who her real birth father is and getting a copy of her birth certificate, right? And so when I think of my grandmother's life and her whole story, this was part of the reason why it was so important to me to do my family tree, and for me to write the book, The Cheat Code, because there was a lot of information from that generation, her parents' generation, where there was a lot of secrets. There was a lot of secrets in the family, and people didn't say certain stuff because they didn't want to look bad, and all of this other stuff, right? And so we're trying to piece together this story of what happened with my great grandmother. We're trying to piece it together, and there's so many missing pieces. And the problem is that a lot of the people that can fill in the gaps for us are deceased. So we're literally trying to get answers for her now. And it's like, we just trying to take we getting bits and pieces of information from different family members. But at the end of the day, nobody knows anything. And so I went on ancestry.com recently, and I redid the family tree again. Because you know how when you do ancestry.com, those little leaves will pop up. Like every time you put in information, if somebody out there has any information on it, it's going to connect it to your family tree, right? So I built out the whole family tree, and everybody's information came up except for my grandmother's. Like there's no record of her being born, nowhere. And it's so absolutely devastating for her. But I say all that to say that I just wish that our elders would have did better. With all the family secrets and all of the trauma and all of the stuff that they try to hide, and put they swept it under the rug, they hid it, they kept quiet. It is devastating for your descendants to have to scramble and try to figure out who they are just because you wouldn't open up your mouth and tell them the truth on who they came from and what happened surrounding their birth, who their mother and father is. It's devastating to her. So I want y'all to pray for me and pray for my grandmother. Her name was Gwendolyn, that she will find out who she is. She's 78 years old. And every time that I call her to talk about this, she always get emotional, because it's just a sad story. It's just a super sad story, It really, really is. It's just a sad story all the way around. And so we got to do better. And so that's why I was talking to my cousin. I said, me being on YouTube is not just about me. It's multiple reasons why I started doing these videos. It's definitely multiple reasons. Yes, I am definitely, my why is the people that I serve. I said, but my drive is my family. And so when my son gets older, when he's in his 30s and 40s, or however old he's going to be when I'm not here anymore, I want him to have a catalog of stuff that he can look at, things that I've taught, things that I've said. I want him to be able to see me, pull up a video, play it. That's why I got so many journals. I got so many journals. Like I write a lot of stuff down, for him to see my handwriting, just to know who his mother was, so that he can know who he was. Because if you don't know where you came from, it's hard for you to figure out who you are. And you're always going to be trying to scramble it's going to be a void somewhere. It's going to be a void somewhere. And you're trying to figure out where it is and why you are this way and all of these things. But all your parents had to do, your grandparents or great grandparents, all they had to do was just open up their mouth and say what was going on. why was it so hard for them to, it's completely unbelievable. And I said, I will never, ever, ever do that to my child. And I cannot imagine not knowing who my mother and father is. And my heart goes out to anybody who doesn't know who their parents is, because that's a tough journey. It's a tough journey to be on, to not know your biological mom or your biological dad. It's a real tough journey. It's crazy. Okay, so I got this link here. I'm sorry, I've been babbling. Okay, let me get this link. So I want to try to make it easy for you all to ask questions, right? There's the link for the coaching in case you all needed it. But I wanted to make it easy for you all to get coaching without having to book a one-on-one call with me, because I know we're sort of kind of in the crunch, and I know it's a lot of things going on in this country. I've been seeing all over TikTok about the Queen, and all this stuff is going on, and I am marked this day in history. The words are coming out of my mouth. There is going to be a shift that takes place in this country before the end of the year. And 2023 there's going to be, something is going to happen with this monetary system. And so now is the time that we need in order to go and begin to claim our interest. I'm going to say this because I had somebody email me. I can't remember who the gentleman that emailed me, because I said this in my last video. I was like, I don't want to fearmonger, because I really, really, I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm about. But I feel like people should be aware of what's going to happen and be prepared of what is going to happen. All I know is that there's going to be a very limited time. There's going to be a limited amount of time that we're going to be able to go in here and claim our interest before this trust is collapsed. So I implore you to, get on top of your paperwork, figure out a way to get your passport, figure out a way to make sure you got multiple copies of your birth certificate, and get this information. If you have to partner with someone to get the information, then do it. Divine Legacy. So this is what I did. I took the course and I broke it up into 2 different courses. I have the course where just the replays being offered, just the replays. And then I have the one that's all inclusive. So those are 2 different prices. So the course that has just the three session, the replays, that's still priced at the original amount of what it was priced at last week. I had to meditate on that one. So, because I know that the price was going to go up, but I wanted to make it so that people could still get it. And like I said, if y'all got a part, because I want people to, the more people that you have that are willing to go through this journey with you, the better. So if you have to partner with someone where everyone is going to have access to this information, then please do it. Please do it. Throughout my journey, it's been the same people with me. It's been my husband and my mom. It's been my husband and my mom and our children, and that's it. Everybody else around me, it's like you can talk to them about certain stuff. It's like when you have conversation, they sort of kind of seem like they woke, but then they say something and you like, yeah, you still in the matrix. Like, it's like they almost there, but they say something and you like, oh, it sounded good, but but that's not it. That's not it. So in light of that, what I did, and I'm gonna see if I can load this here. I just went on ahead and created the Facebook group that everybody can get into, and it's going to be linked in the description of this video. I think I might have the link right here. Definitely going to have to drop it into the course. Now, for all of you that took the course, I know that you were looking for a group setting. This is going to be your group setting, right? We're going to pile everyone in. The people who took the course, the people who didn't take the course, everybody can join. But for the people who actually took the course, what's going to happen is the way that it will be structured, all of us are going to be able to hop on Zoom calls periodically so that we can discuss progress. You can ask your very, very specific questions because you are an existing student. We just gonna get it all in. But for those that are not in the course, I need for them to be exposed to the community of learning so that they can begin their process as well. So at the end of the day, all of us are going to be working together. So those of you that have gotten in, you've begun to do the work, now it's time to pay it forward. It's time to pay it forward. It's time to pay it forward. And so we have to pay it forward for those that were not able to get into the course. So we're going to help everybody out as a collective because we are literally all in this together. And so you will be able to get together with someone, just like Lala is asking if anyone is in South Carolina. Who's in South Carolina? Who's in California? Who's in Michigan? It's time for us to get into these groups, because it's going to be a system of repetition, right? Especially with doing the DBA, certain things that need to be done with your county, your state, it's just going to be a system of duplication. So other people are going to be able to come behind you and hit the ground running, right? Because we all in this together. Thank you so much, Gisette. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful for you too. Y'all listen, it's time to get to work. It's time to get to work. And y'all already know that a shift is coming now that the Queen has passed. I need y'all to, we gotta start paying attention. This is spiritual. This is what has been prophesized. There is going to be a major shift that happens, not only with the monetary system, but with the shift of wealth in this country, and with the consciousness of the people, because people are waking up. They're waking up. We are rising our vibration. We are waking up, and the higher we rise our vibration, the sooner the enemy is defeated. This is a spiritual thing, y'all. It's spiritual. I don't know. Yeah, flaming speed. Yep, that's it. You got it. So we just, I wish I could. I got so much to tell you. Oh man, but I can't man. Oh my goodness. Y'all gonna be blown away when we really get down in here and really get in. Oh, Mark's marketing. Okay, let me see. Let me go back. Okay, so I saw the question that says, I'm at ground zero. What are the first 10 steps I should take? Okay, go and order your birth certificates, right? Birth certificates, that's first and foremost, and your passport. Those two things right there, if you don't already have those things, is so vitally important. And order the maximum amount that they'll allow you to order, which is usually 10. Usually in most places, but don't quote me on that, because I've been hearing stories from different areas that I've been hearing otherwise. But I know for my situation and a lot of my clients, I mean, and I have a lot of people in New York, and then I have people in North Carolina. So we don't have any issues in North Carolina or for New York State. Ordering birth certificates. Ohio is another one that's really easy to order. Yeah, so I would really just Google, how do you order birth certificate, or ask someone that you know. Ask someone that you know. How do you order birth certificates in your area? You know what? I need all my Charlotte people to put a 2 in the chat. Who's all in Charlotte, North Carolina? Because y'all know I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're gonna have to do a meetup. We really should do a meetup. And I'm talking about just hanging out, because messing around with y'all have me teaching, y'all left me in a room somewhere. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think we should do a meetup though. Let me see. What else I got going on? Let's like on my computer again. Stay up. And my feed is behind because I can see. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, most states have an online birth certificate. What about your passport? Yeah, kidnap me for that's the thing. Kidnap me for knowledge. Yeah, if your passport expire, you can just go and apply for another one, because it's gonna cost you the same amount to renew than it does when you get it from scratch. It's still gonna be the same cost, from what I just found out when I went to go do my son's. Yeah. DDH. What is that? What is that little guy doing? That is so fun. Thank you so much. Thank you. Y'all are the best. Yeah, so this Facebook group, I know exactly how it's gonna go. It's already up and running. I'm actually, let me drop the link in here, and I will be dropping the link to the Facebook group inside of the course as a module, just so that you all know. So that way you can join it directly from inside the course if you happen to come back and watch this video, if you see it in a replay. Yeah, XX, listen. What do you mean you think that what did they specifically say? I want you to type in what they said. Because the thing of the matter is they have to be able to prove it. They got to be able to prove it. Lewis Rich, you can book a consultation. I can drop the link again if you need me to. Let's see. No, so XX. So the next step. All right, so let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on, let me drop this link first and then I'll pull that up for you. All right, so this is the link for the Facebook group. I don't know if that, I want to make sure that posted in there. Hold on. All right, let's see. Kevin, they have an option on there for long form. You can choose long form, or authentication is fine. Legal purposes, personal reasons, I think that's one of the options. Either one of those is fine. I don't even know why they ask you that, because it's none of your business. I mean, it's none of their business, I'm saying. New York, Christy, do I have a copy? I got, yeah, I got one right here. All right, so this is the long form for New York. So was he in the boroughs of New York? Because I'm from upstate New York, so Erie County is where I order mine from. So they're really on top of things, but you're absolutely right. It may be different for the boroughs, but either way, order what you can because you're going to use whatever you can. I hope that answers your question. I've heard about it, the W-4 process, but trust and believe, I'm doing my research on it. I've never used it. Yeah, county office is definitely a good place to start. I've done that, Caitlin. I actually order multiple copies of both the certificate of live birth and the computer generated copy of the birth certificate. Yeah. So here's the link for, or you said vital statistics or vital check? Let me see where she said. Okay. Wait, let me scroll back up. Comments are going kind of fast. All right. So the Facebook group is a place where you can get your questions answered, right? And hop inside of the audio rooms, and they actually have it where you can create rooms inside of the Facebook group. So the purpose of the Facebook group is for you to come and get your questions answered, because guess what? It's just me. And I need to have a centralized place where people can ask questions so that I can make sure that you're not waiting 2 and 3 weeks to get your questions answered because I haven't hired an assistant yet. So it's going to be a place where you can just come and get your questions answered. You can upload documents, you can share documents, you can get feedback, right? And we can all help each other get to the finish line, like seriously, legit get to the finish line. So there's going to be resources uploaded in the Facebook group. There's going to be videos. I'll be doing Q&As, Facebook Lives. It's just a place for us to come together so that we can really get down in the trenches and start doing the work that we need to do to move forward. That's it. And it's a private Facebook group. So nobody's going to be able to see what's in the group. Nobody's going to see who's in the group. It's completely private. The only people that don't know about it are the members. That's it. So it's definitely up to you. Okay, so she said vital statistics. Hold on. So I'm gonna drop the link for Vital Check. Now, when you order from Vital Check, it gives you, well, when you order from Vital Check, the order is automatically submitted to wherever your county is for them to process the order and send it to you. It's not actually coming from Vital Check. The orders actually go to the county because the county has to do the work, and the registrar, they have to certify it and stamp it and all that good stuff. So the orders still go to the county, but this is just a centralized way for you to be able to go in and get it done quick. All right, so there's the link for Vital Check. Dre, yes, great. That's a great question. That is a great question. Now, I haven't taught you all yet. Wait, did I mention this before? I can I do remember mentioning that the registered date on the birth certificate is the date that the legal person was born. I do remember mentioning that, but I have not expounded on that, and I didn't teach any more on it because there's many reasons why I haven't yet. Because I didn't want to start confusing people, but this is how you distinguish yourself from the legal person, right? The legal person has a different birth date than you. Yes, that is the date that the document shows that it was registered or filed, whatever that second date is on your BC, that's the birth of the legal person. Now, you have to be careful, Dre, because remember, unless you have updated the date, the DOB, unless you've updated the date of birth on your driver's license, it's going to be, and if they're asking for your identification as a basis to approve you for the loan, then that's where you're going to run into a hiccup. So if you're going to do that route where you're going to start using that date, you would have to go back to the DMV and get your driver's license updated with the correct date, the correct DOB. Right? Now you can slide past, you know, so y'all got me good. I'm not supposed to be talking about this stuff on YouTube. That's why we need the Facebook group. I'm not supposed to be y'all. Ooh, I almost said something. Listen, we're gonna get into this. Y'all gonna get into this Facebook group. Get into the group. These questions, y'all going a little deep. But like I said, yeah, you would have to get that updated with the DMV. Because technically that is the birth date that is supposed to be in the public. Remember, the day that you were born is a private event. It's a private event. And so usually, and it's crazy because, no, it's not, I don't know why I always use that term crazy, but my cousin has one of the oldest Bibles in our family in her possession at her house. And so when we were trying to get down to this whole situation with my grandmother, she came forward because, look, I put a call out because we have a group chat for my family, right? So I went into the group chat and was like, look, if anybody has any information about my grandmother, who her father is, I said, I need y'all to step forward. I said, I don't understand what the big secret is. You know, somebody needs to say something. If you know something, say something, you know. And so two of my cousins said something because one of them said, well, I have the Bible. She was like, I'm gonna look in there. She said, because I do remember a lot of the birth dates being recorded in the Bible. No, she didn't say birthday. She said there's a lot of information written in the Bible. That's what she said. That's what she said. And so my first thought is, okay, well, maybe it's something in there about my grandmother, right? So this is my great-great-grandmother's Bible, the one that she has. And I said, okay, well, maybe it's something in there about my grandma. And so my aunt ended up calling her and said, okay, well, just send me a picture of the page where you see, you know, what the stuff is written. Just send it to me. And so when she sent it to her, it was really just a listing of all the names and the birthdays in the Bible. Because remember, before they started keeping, you know, records of birth, before they started doing the birth certificate and all of these things, that's what families would do. They would write it in the Bible. They wrote births, marriages, and deaths in the Bible. That's where they kept all the information. So when she sent her a picture of it, it was just a record of all the birth dates. And I said, okay, well, did the birth date at least match up with what my grandmother, how she's, you know, the date that she is being told that she was born? And they're like, yeah, the birth date matched up. And I said, okay, well, it didn't really do us any good because it was really just everybody's birth date. That's the point. The day that you were born, that's private. That's between you and your creator and whoever else is in the room. That's private, right? But they created this legal entity and they attached it to you. And so the date that certificate comes to be in existence, that's the date that the trust was created. That's the date. So that is the birth date of your legal person, yes. And that is the date that you would want to be using on any application, along with all the legal person's information, including their residence, which is not your residence. Y'all, it's deep. I'm telling y'all, it's so deep. All right, let me see what's going on. Yep, you're welcome, Dre. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you do. And Frederick, yeah, you absolutely do. And that's part of the reason why I said, I said we have to go at it from a different approach. Just go at it from a different approach initially, so that we can move them along. But that trademark is going to be key too. So going back to, what's that gentleman's name that said he asked for the 10 steps. I can't remember your name, but that's one of the steps, is to start the process of getting your name trademarked. Because remember, who has more interest in the use of the name but you? Can somebody answer that question? Who has more interest in the use of the name but you? Hold on, y'all. I'm scrolling down. I have my passport and spelled my name the way I've been spelling all my life, but not realizing the spelling was wrong on my birth certificate. Somebody, oh my goodness, someone had that exact same question in class. Not realizing the spelling was wrong on my birth certificate. Should I apply for another passport? Okay, let me read this again. I have my passport and spelled my name the way I've been spelling it all my life. Okay, that's one thing, but not realizing the spelling was wrong. So the way that you've been spelling it your whole life was right, but the birth certificate is wrong. So the date, so basically you're saying that the registrar, like when they took down the name at the hospital when you were born, they recorded that information incorrectly and put it on the birth certificate. But you're spelling it the way that your mom spelled it, like the way that you were taught to spell it, right? A little. Your passport absolutely has to match the name on your birth certificate, and that should also match your identification. All three of them should be exactly the same. So if you can't, let me see, should you get another passport? Okay. Okay, check this out. If it was spelled wrong on your BC, go ahead and do a name change with the court to match the name on your passport. Because the name on your passport is a surname and given name, right? It's a surname and a given name. So if you do a name change to correct your name to reflect a surname and a given name, you would have jumped 5 steps ahead in the game. Because we are literally fighting for our life to get them to recognize us under our surname and given name. Baby, if you go and oh girl, honey, you got like the perfect situation right now. You have the perfect, look at this as an opportunity. Look at this as an opportunity. Look at it as an opportunity. The name on your passport is your surname and given name. What I would do is I would go and change everything else to match the passport, match everything else to the passport. Do a legal name change with the court. A legal name change here in North Carolina is cheap. It costs less than a passport, I can tell you that, because I already submitted my paperwork to change my name to my surname and given name. Man, that right there gonna be the move, y'all. This is chess. We're playing chess right now. We playing chess. We playing chess. That's what I would do if I was you, Sharifa. All right, let's see. I wonder why they removed the long form. Well, The thing of the matter is, with the long form, gives you the most information. The long form has all of your parents' information on it. At least it does for where I ordered mine from. The long form is the copy that has the parent's name. Some of them have the parent's social security number. They have the parent's address. It has the time of birth. It's just more detailed. And that's the one that you want. I don't know about you, but I want to be able to see those details. It gives the age of my parents when I was born. The short form doesn't do that. The short form is the computer generated copy, and it don't give no details. There's no details on there. My original birth certificate even has my mom's signature on it, where she signed her name. And even when I ordered birth certificate for my youngest, I ordered both his certificate of live birth, multiple copies of his certificate of live birth, and the computer generated form. Now, my son was born in 2008. And it's amazing to me because I don't remember how I signed. This was back in 2008. I signed his birth certificate as the agent. It blew my mind. I don't think I have a copy of it. It's probably behind me on my other table behind me, but I signed his birth certificate as the agent. I was a little woke back then, but not like I am, not to the consciousness that I am now. But I did always know that something was wrong. You know what I mean? That something was wrong with the system. And I even called, I had a conversation with my mom. I said, do you remember? It blew her mind too that I had signed as the agent. She was like, no, I told her, I said, do you remember anything that we talked about leading up to that day? I said, do you remember what I was studying? Do you remember? And she was like, she said, I don't remember. I'm just trying to figure out why I signed my name as the agent. Like, did they tell me to sign it that way? But do they ever tell you to sign as the agent? Like, has any nurse or anybody at the hospital ever told you to sign as the agent? It just seemed like it was just so odd. It was just really, really odd. And I kept staring at it. I said, man, what was I reading? Because I really didn't start I did not begin to get deep into this information until 2009, 2010. It was somewhere in there. And so he had been born before that. But there was a book that I wrote, though, that changed my perspective on a lot. A book that I read, because like I told y'all before, I don't know if I mentioned this, but my mom, she started teaching me certain things when I was 14, which is the same age that my son is right now. And this was when I was 14. This is when my parents, they were in the process of getting divorced. So it was a lot going on. My mom had left the house, and that's when she went into Islam. She was literally trying to find out who she was, right? Because my mom was a young mom. I'm just telling like all my business. Y'all supposed to stop me. Y'all got me out here airing out my whole family history. Anyway, she is the reason why I am the way that I am, because she became conscious at a very young age. She went through Islam. She went through Christianity. Like, you know, she had to go through the motions in order to really figure out what this whole thing, this world, this, you know, just everything, and how she was going to teach her children, whatever, you know, all of that stuff, right? Let's see. But yeah, she's the reason why I'm the way that I am today. So when I moved to North Carolina in 2005, my mom was already living here. So I moved down here with her, ended up getting pregnant. But I remember all the stuff that she taught me throughout the years, as I was growing up. And it all went back to when I was 14. She started telling me all of this stuff. And so when I moved here, I had to go through the motions because I partied a lot when I first moved here. I had to get that out my system. I had just got out of a relationship of 11 years, and I was trying to figure some things out as well, because you know, when you with a person since high school and you break up, it's like you gotta reevaluate some stuff, right? So certain stuff you got to get out your system, all of that. So anywho, fast forward to 2008. Yeah, I ended up getting pregnant, but I remember I read a lot of books. I was reading a lot because I was either bored or asleep or eating, you know. So yeah, so I don't know if y'all remember this. Some of the older people may remember the name of this book, but do you all remember Natural Cures That They Don't Want You to Know About by Kevin Trudeau? I remember that book. Put a 5 in the chat if you remember that book. Put a 5 in the chat if you remember that book. Kevin Trudeau used to be on, you used to see the infomercials in the middle of the night or late night, these infomercials. And he was like a whistleblower. He was a whistleblower. And so, you know, they, whatever they did to him, but oh, Frederick, I sent you an email calling you Miss Sunshine. Thank you so much. Yes. Vital check, do you recommend? Christy, if vital check doesn't work, I would recommend going directly to the county first. See, here in North Carolina, they actually have a government office in Uptown Charlotte where you can go down there and they'll print copies of the birth certificates out right on the spot. And you'll be there maybe 20, 25 minutes at the most, really fast. A lot of places have places like that where you can go. So I would try to see what government buildings have that service, or if not, place a call to your county offices. Usually the Department of Health or Vital Statistics would guide you in the right direction in terms of getting copies. Oh, okay. So let me give you the website for that. It's going to be the USPTO. Now, I did give a common law copyright form inside of the course. That is also recommended that you file that as well. All right, so here's the website for that. And my computer sit like that. And so the thing about the USPTO website is that, don't be intimidated by the website because it is so, I don't want to just say that it's easy, but the beauty of it is that they actually train you how to use their system. Like on the website, they have all of these free videos and stuff that you could watch that's going to teach you how to do your trademark. So don't be intimidated by the website. It's super, 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 super easy to find out how to submit. All right, I just put the link down there for the USPTO website for you all. But that's where you're going to want to start the process to begin your trademark. Yep, every corporation, right? But so for truth, true girl, what type of interest do they have? Okay, so you said Sharifa is how I was taught, and on the birth certificate is Sharifa. Yep, so I would match it up to what's on your passport. That for you, that's, yep. And so Gisette, if you're married, if you legally changed your name, that means, so like with my mom, she legally changed her name, but she ended up getting a new birth certificate, which is perfectly fine because regardless if you change your name or not and they give you a new birth certificate, it still all ties back to the same trust. So it's going to be whatever name is on your birth certificate. Yeah. So, right. So what type of interest do they have? I'm trying to obtain the DBA. Do any other states require specimens? When you say specimen, what do you so when you say specimen, do you mean evidence that the name is being used in commerce? What specifically do you mean by specimen? Yeah, Dre, so look at your birth certificate to see the second date that's on your birth certificate. As long as you can see that second date, that legal person was created. But even if you can't see the second date, trust me, there's still a legal entity connected to you. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, so just let me know what you mean by specimen. No, not necessarily, Capricia. It just I would just go based on whatever's on your birth certificate. So like if you're married, because a lot of people are married, but they didn't legally change their name. Like me, I didn't legally change my name to my husband's last name, but I use the last name because we can choose to be called by any name we want to. So I choose to be called Tamara T. Bush, but I didn't legally change my name. So when I do my processes, it's all based on the name that's on my birth certificate. That's why when you see me hold it up, it says Tolbert, because that's my maiden name. I never legally changed my name. So you don't have to change it back. It's it's by surname. Freefo, Toya Freefo, it's by surname. It's by surname. Yeah, it's important, Flame and Speed. It really, really is. Exactly. Exactly, Lunda. Am I pronouncing that right? Yeah, with y'all YouTube name. Okay, so remind me, why did I ask y'all to put a 5 in the chat? I don't forgot now. I'm steady. I'm gonna back up and read it. I completely forgot. Yep, they said so you so you right. So Kevin Trudeau, right, they sent him to prison. They sent him to prison. Yep, they sent him to prison. And so when I read that book, I said, okay. I said, well, shoot, if they're lying to us about the food, I'm like, well, what else is they lying about? That was my first thought. And so something happened. Something happened. Hold on, y'all, I gotta fix my chair. Something happened. Not too long after me and my mom moved to North Carolina, right? I still don't even remember the whole story of how she met somebody and they invited her to this meeting. They invited her to this meeting and it was at a church. And so I think it was on a Friday night. It was either on a Friday or a Saturday night. I can't remember the day. So she drove to this meeting, right? And she was gone for like 4 hours. It had gotten late. I'm looking out the window. I'm like trying to call her phone. She ain't answering the phone. So I started panicking. And I'm like, where in the world is she? Where is she? Where did she go? She's not answering phone. I was worried. And so there was nothing that I could do because I was at home with my baby and I didn't have a car at the time. And I'm steady calling her, she's not answering. So she finally pulls up in the driveway. And I'm like, where in the world was you? I was blowing your phone up. I was calling you. And she was like, you are not going to believe where I was just at and the information that I just heard. And I'm like, what? And she started telling me about all of this stuff, all of the stuff that we learned, and like all the stuff that I'm teaching, that other people have been teaching for years. She was like, this is what they said at the meeting. And I was just looking at her like, what? But my mind was like blown away. And I was like, I knew it. I said, I knew it. I knew it. This was back in 2009. This was in 2009. And so ever since that day, that particular church, they were having, it was Bible study, but it was this was the studying that was going on, right? We study a little bit of scripture, but for the most part, we would come and study this. We would come and study this. We was at the church once and twice a week studying this information, learning about the straw man, learning about all of these things. That's when my journey started. But my mind became open when I read that book. When I read that book, I was like, okay, at that point, I remember being so upset at reading this book because I literally had to after you read a book like that, after you step out of the matrix, once you go over onto the other side, you know you can't go back. And so it really literally causes you to reevaluate your whole life. It causes you, yes, it's a monthly subscription. That's right. It's a monthly subscription to my legacy. Right. It causes you to reevaluate your entire life. Because he was talking about a lot of if you read the book, you already know the food. That's what he was talking about. So I remember standing in the cereal aisle at the grocery store. I think I stood in that aisle for maybe 30, 40 minutes because I literally sat in the aisle and I read every single cereal box in the aisle, trying to figure out what cereal I could still eat after learning this information. It was so stressful. Because the thing of the matter is, like I said, once you go down a certain path, you can never go back. You can't go back. You cannot go back. All right. Hey, Gisette, thank you. My BC is different as well. Mom's ex-boyfriend signed because while my dad was in the Army, the Social Security card says my real dad's name, but BC is other name. He did legally change it. Hold on, let me read this again. My BC is different. Okay. Okay. So your mom's boyfriend signed. He signed as the father. So, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so the Social Security card says your real dad's name, but the birth certificate still says your mom's boyfriend's name. And so she legally changed your name to her boyfriend's name. Is that that's what you're saying? But it's still perfectly fine because you're just going to do everything according to what's on your birth certificate. So it's not as complicated as you think. We just think it's complicated. Well, I mean, your situation is complicated. I'm sensitive to that. But at the end of the day, it still all ties back to the name that is on that BC. It ties back to that name. Even in lieu of the history surrounding how the name came to be about, it still ties back to what's on the BC. I hope that helps. Let's see. Her legacy, listen, do we need to provide proof to change the birth date? Okay, so do y'all, okay, I don't know if you all, hold on one second. Let me grab something. Let me grab something so that wait, do I have it up here? I think, oh, I do have it. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. Because this is what I be talking about. This is what I be talking about, right? All right. All right. I want y'all to put a 6 in the chat if you can see this book. If you can see this book. All right. Can you see that book? I posted this book on my TikTok channel. This was a while ago, a few weeks ago. Because like I was saying before, this is spiritual. Everything that we're doing is spiritual. So we have to begin to get comfortable with developing our abilities, spiritual abilities, right? This is why this is part of raising your vibration so that you can begin to do the work that's necessary. And part of that journey requires you to raise your spiritual vibration. And I'm so serious. And a lot of y'all already know what I'm talking about, right? So what that means is that we have to begin to become more in tune with how we operate in our skin every day. Does that make sense? And so we have certain abilities that are underdeveloped in terms of manifestation, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So when I posted this book, this is a book that my mom put me onto years ago, right? Self-Mastery and Fate with the Cycles of Life. It talks about the 7 cycles of life, and it breaks it all the way down to the daily routine and how you're planning your day, even down to planning what time of day you're going to go and submit your documents. Because this right here, this is playing chess. When you become in tune with yourself, and I'm still a work in progress, right? I have not perfected this by any means, but this, along with reading other spiritual books, the Bible, has been what has helped me to, I don't know, just be able to deal with everything that's going on and be focused and not allow distractions to come. It's all spiritual. That's all I can say. The reason why I said that, wait, who was I talking to? I know I just went on like a whole tangent, right? Okay, Her Legacy LLC. The reason why I brought this up is because you said, do we need to provide proof to change the birth date on the license? Now, that question right there is going to be based on a couple things. Primarily, your ability to walk in that establishment and read the room. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you want to be able to have the ability to discern who's going to receive your argument for you to get them to change what you need them to change without having to, either without proof, or you take your birth certificate in there and you have to be able to explain it in a way where they could be like, you know what, ma'am, that makes a lot of sense. Let me go ahead and process this for you. Do y'all get where I'm going? Put a 10 in the chat if y'all get where I'm going. Or just put, I get it. Just put, I get it in the chat if you understand where I'm coming from with this. Yep, I remember that Michael Jordan story. And I was recently watching a video where this guy was just talking about it. Somebody shared a portion of it on their TikTok. I think it was Trinali. She shared a portion of it on her TikTok about this guy on there talking about the origin of the birth certificate. And so in the story that he was telling, she didn't share that portion about the Michael Jordan story, but she shared the portion where he was talking about the birth certificate was secular, right? Which it is. It's secular. And so when you can explain that to a pastor, they will probably never use the marriage certificate. Did I say birth certificate or marriage certificate? I'm talking about the marriage certificate. The marriage certificate is secular. That's what the gentleman was explaining. So when you can explain that to a pastor, they will probably never want to use it again. Y'all can go over on my TikTok channel because I actually talk about me and my husband and what we did. But I won't mention it here on YouTube. All right, let's see. Yeah, there's a survey. Yep, connected to the Facebook group. Because I gotta listen, I need to be able to get y'all in the group expeditiously. And that survey is going to assist me in admitting you sooner. It's about your identity. Well, not your identity, but just basic contact information, right? So that I can match it up with the name that appears to request admission into the group. Yeah, I heard about the Michael Jordan story where that's how he got out of the traffic ticket. That trademark is very powerful. Let me drop the link again. Can somebody do me a favor and scroll back up? I don't see my moderator on here tonight. Actually, nope, I got it. I can repost it now. Let's see. I just pinned it. So you should be able to see it at the top. I don't know if it's going to allow me to pin more than one. All right, so let me go back down so I can make sure I get all your questions. Oh my goodness, time go by quick, don't it? It's already 8:45. Y'all will let me go on forever. Y'all will let me go on forever. I'm good though. Okay, so everybody got the USPTO link. You have the link to the Facebook group. Oh, and so for those of you, let me go and do this right now while I'm on here. I promise you I'll be trying to get this stuff done. And thank you all for being so patient. I am going to get better. Y'all know I say this all the time. I will get better and get more structure for you all. And for any of you that have been having problems getting into the course, definitely send an email to info@tamratbush.com. I gotten some emails. Also, I don't know why, but some of y'all emails went into spam on the day of class. And so I've been going back through my emails over the last couple of days, and I'm seeing that some of you all emailed me on class day. That email went into the spam, and I do apologize for that. And I did respond to you today, between today and yesterday. And I think there's only a few more that I need to respond to, but just know that it was not intentional. It was intentional for everyone to get let into the class and for us all to be in there. But trying to maintain the entry into the class after a certain time frame was very distracting to learning because everyone kept hearing the chimes, and I didn't want to disrupt learning for them. So that's why if you weren't in by a certain time, I had to lock the room down. Okay. All right. Let me just scroll down here to make sure I have all the questions answered. Yep, that's it. That's the book. That is the book. Yep. It's definitely helped me. Yeah, this was the one that I had posted on my TikTok. Yep. This book is good, y'all. I gotta pick this thing up because it breaks it down. It's so deep. Let me see if I can. I just happen to scroll to a page and it's highlighted. This book right here. And the beauty of it is that it goes like you can look up your birthday. So like you see how I have mine right here, I got it highlighted because my birthday is on January the 11th. And so the part that I have highlighted is for January 2nd to January the 22nd in this polarity B. I'm gonna read this to y'all. Listen, I'm gonna read. Let me read this to y'all real quick because it's basically describing. It's and it's accurate. It's accurate. All right. So it says persons born in the last half period of period number 6 are critical to an extreme extent. And while they do not allow this criticism to be applied for the benefit of others, they hesitate to become known as reformers or to be identified with criticism of matters of any kind. They nevertheless become critical of their own lives and of their own actions. This causes them considerable unrest and often makes them of that type which we call, this is for the Aquarian January birthdays. So I must have, because my birthday is January the 11th. So this is for the on the Aquarian side. I know I highlighted both because I wanted to see the contrast, but man, when I tell you this book right here is where it's at. It literally breaks it down into, it does everything in cycles throughout the year, and then it breaks it down into the month and the day and to the very time. So definitely go and pick that up. Wait, what did you say about Wesley Snipes? Wait, I know I just saw something. Yeah, and they said that that was the reason why he had did that time. Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they say. Yep, he sure did. What video? Cello FF321. What video? Which video? You talking about the, well, someone earlier was asking about the 4-day block and remove. Is that the video you want? Yeah, I can pin it up there. Let's see. Here, okay. Okay, I pinned that message up there. It's only allowing me for to pin one message. So what I'll do is I'll paste it again down below. And all right. All right, so let me get back down to the bottom. So there's multiple links in the chat. Trademark, vital check, consultation, and the Facebook group. On again. Let's see. All right. Okay. What video? You said the video that I just did. Which video are you speaking of, ma'am, sir? Are you a ma'am or a sir? I like your profile picture. Oh, sell off. I didn't even see that that's what that spelled. Sell off 321. Okay. So when you say the video that I just did, are you speaking about training from last, or the sessions from last week? Sharifa, you are mine on the 11th. You are literally a day before me. Yeah. Rhonda Irby, check the pin message at the top. You should be able to see it. You should be able to see it. All right, let me just scroll back up and make sure I missed a whole bunch. Okay. Yes. I don't know what you I just got my water and I'm mad. Oh, actually, yes. Whew, when I tell you I always keep a bottle of water on reserve. My mouth gets dry real quick. I drink a lot of water. All right, so I repinned the link. Tell me, you're gonna have to lay it out for me, hon. Tell me which video you want me to redrop, and I'll drop it in here. You said the one that I just did. I need specifics. January 10th. That's right. Yep, Team Cappy. Team Cappy. Yep, this is our season for grace and favor. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Let me see if I can do it again. I want y'all to make sure y'all give us some time to get you in the group, because I don't know about that. Yeah, Toya, my aunt used to have a saying. I'm not gonna say it though. She used to say it to me all the time. Oh, you know, your skin is clear. I'm like, but she used to say something else that went along with it. What page? You said what page was I reading? I was on the website, the USPTO website, and that was pretty much it. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. But yes, so that is what's been going on. I didn't want to let another week go by without dropping the Facebook group, because all of the questions that I have right now, what I'll do is I will just go live and answer those questions that have been sent to me by email, because there has been quite a good amount of questions being asked. And so the Facebook group is going to allow me to elaborate that and then upload any potential documents that's going to help you get in that right direction. Now, I recommend that, like I said before, pull all of your stuff out and start going through with the fine tooth comb, whatever it is that you're going to do, because more likely than not is that there's going to be other people in the group that's going to be going through a similar situation. And so when you can compare notes and, share information, it's just going to help you all the better. So let's partner up and start getting this work done. Right. See, blonde duck. Exactly. That's what it was. Oh my God. And my face used to turn so red when she would say that. And I would just be like, why you say that? Yeah. But this was fun. This was fun, y'all. I'm about to hop off. This was super, super fun. I need the rest. I really need to just get ready. I'm excited though, because we got a lot of good stuff coming. Oh my goodness. Y'all have been so supportive. I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, this is all new for me. It's just fun at this point to just be able to share and do what I love. I know that's not common for many people to be able to do that in a lifetime, so I don't take it for granted. I really, really don't. I respect everyone's time. I appreciate you all just coming and wanting to study with me and learn the information. It means more to me than you know. It really, really does. I really want y'all to know that. The only place that we could go from here is up. That's it. And we're about to be all the way up. So I just wanted to touch bases with y'all and spend some time with y'all tonight. All right. So I will see y'all very soon. I got some lessons coming up this week for us in YouTube, some things we need to talk about. So I'm definitely ready to get to work. Let's get to work, y'all. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. Divine Legacy Builders is everything. It's all of the replays, and then it's also all of the letters, all of your prerequisites that you need in order to begin to claim your interest. So, and when you go to the website and you expand the list, because there's like this little, let me see if I can bring it up. Hold on. I'll just bring it up for you. All right, so let me just bring it up for you. All right, can you all see that? Okay, so basically what I did is I took because there were some people that literally said that they only wanted the replays. And I said, okay, fine. So I just took it and put it by itself. Now this one right here is the one that you're asking about, Divine Legacy Builders. So let me just go down here and show you. So when you go there, it's going to basically give you the replay from that session. And then it's going to, these are all of the topics that we actually discussed in class, right? With supporting documentation. So like you have the language for the UCC, you have how to create your DBA. We talk about the passport. I actually dropped the document that helped you get, if you wanted to go ahead and apply as your passport as a national, it'll help you, it'll give you the instructions on how to do that. So these documents right here, the affidavits, are what we need in order to claim our interest and take control of the legal person, right? Because right now, we're not identified as the beneficial owner of record, right? So we haven't claimed our ownership interest in the legal person. So remember when I asked the question earlier, is who has the most interest in the legal person? And someone answered the corporations. That's true, but the type of interest that we have in the legal person is completely different. We have ownership interest because we actually own the legal name. That's our essence that they took, and they took our surname and our given name, which was our family name, and the name that you were gifted at birth. They took it and they combined it into one legal name, and they created this entity. They assigned it to you at birth, and they used it as a conduit in order to do business with you. But you have ownership interest because you own the name. The corporation has a security interest in the name that was assigned to them when they made you an offer. You accepted it, you signed the application, and then you gave the application back to them. You placed it in their hand, or I'm sorry, let me go back. You apply for the credit because the company made you an offer. You signed the application, right? And then they presented you with the promissory note, which was another offer. You signed the promissory note, then you took that promissory note and you placed it back in the hand of the company that you were doing business with. You literally signed over your security interest when you gave them that document back. So they do have a security interest because they're the holder in due course of the document evidencing the obligation to pay, right? You gave them your security interest, right? Isn't that what happened? You gave it to them. So yes, they have a security interest, but your interest is an ownership interest, which is absolute because you own the name. So that's the difference. That's the difference. And this is why you have more of an interest in your name than they do. They're benefiting from the use of the name. They're getting compensated for the use of the name. They're buying, selling the name. They're buying, selling your data. Everybody's getting paid but you, and you have ownership interest. But the problem is that we haven't properly identified ourselves as the owner and the one that's supposed to benefit from the use of the person. Everybody's benefiting from the use of a person but us. So that's what these documents will do. But then once you do that, how do you assert yourself? How do you assert yourself? The replay, how to construct your documents, basically how to put all of that together, how they should be structured, right? And for your existing accounts, how do you begin to put people on notice? How do you identify those violations, right? How to execute, class replay. How do you get them to update the record? Who to contact? Like literally walking you through everything and giving you the documents that you need in order to get it done. So that's why it's $4.97. Yeah, probably went to spam. Okay. All right. Yeah, my DMs they're flooded right now. It's gonna be real hard for me to respond to those. So in the near future, once I do have my assistant in place, that will definitely be one of her tasks, is to manage those messages, because I understand that everyone has a preferred way to communicate. And it's no big deal. It's I want to be able to accommodate you. So I will have someone looking at my DMs because I do get a lot of messages, but it's just I can't keep up. I can't keep up. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Yep. Okay. All right, cool. Yep. Yeah, to get those documents. That's yep. Hey, do what you got to do. Or like I said, partner with somebody. Yep. Yeah. And thank you for that, Versi. I mean, it's I think for many years I was so quiet, because I've been studying for some years. But it would always just be so confusing to me, because all the information was always so spread between all these different people. And so it's important that when you're learning a process, that you're not all over the place. There has to be some sort of structure to it, because you'll go mad if it's not. Like you'll literally go mad, and it'll get overwhelming, and it's just a lot to have to deal with. It's just a lot. So the group setting, in my opinion, has always worked, because the thing about this, and this is why I've been in so many different study groups, I'm still in the study group. I'm still in the study group. I still have coaches and mentors, because it's important. Surrounding yourself with other people that can help you look at things from another perspective is a good thing. And especially to surround yourself with people that's on the same journey, it's just the smart thing to do. Because a lot of the times, people like us, we're the freedom fighters of this generation. We are the pioneers in our family. We're the ones that's going out on a limb to learn this information. And a lot of times we misunderstood. And this is why we are drawn to people outside of us that study the same stuff, and we get into these groups, because it's like the natural progression. Because when your family don't understand you, it's like, well, shoot, I need somebody to talk to about this stuff. This is exciting stuff. That's why I'm so blessed that me and my mom, this been me and her since I was 14. And then as years went on, it was just got more intense, just learn more and more. That's just the natural progression. But even before I got married, because my husband is conscious, so before him, the only other person that I could talk to about this stuff was my mom. She was the only one that understood, that wouldn't just dismiss something that you say and just blow you off and be like, you know what I'm saying? You know how people do that. You tell them something super deep, and they say something to just totally invalidate, or to try to invalidate everything that you just said, and you can't do nothing but walk away. It's like, what in the world? Yeah. So anyway, I mean, good grief. It's like, give me some understanding. But yeah, y'all. Yeah, having a group is definitely key. Having a group is key. That's all I can say. So, but I had a lot of fun tonight, y'all. Had a lot of fun. I hope you all were able to get some questions answered. There's going to be some great things coming up for definitely for October. I'm gonna be doing some traveling. I got a few dates lined up. I will be speaking at a couple of events. It's definitely gonna be fun. It's definitely gonna be fun. Oh, that's what I was. Let me make sure that I do this real quick. Hold on, y'all, before we get off here, because I want to make sure that everyone who's already inside the course, you have a place to go. You can get to the Facebook group from directly inside the courses. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So I need to go in and make sure that this is in there so that y'all can get in there easy. But I hope that this was beneficial. Hope that tonight was beneficial. Yes, thank you. If you are interested, send your resume to info@tamertbush.com. Actually, Touche, yes, I just went through a training. Actually just went through a training this week on the 1099 process. So, yep. And I've done it before, but not like this. This is that process is effective. Yes, it does work. Yeah, but send your resume. Send your resume. All right, and I'm going to pop this in here. So definitely the members, it'll be easy. If you just log in, it'll be back there for you. So that way I can have what y'all need. Yeah, I'm definitely ready though. Ready to get this work done. Definitely ready. Trying to put together a schedule for the classes that I want to do for the rest of the year. I definitely want to at least try to do one class per month. And it'll probably just be September and October, because November, I know that's the holiday season. December is, a lot of people's holiday season. And plus, I have an event to go to in November, actually the week of Thanksgiving. It's my brother's wedding. So whatever classes I do are going to be in September and one in October, probably the middle of, I want to be able to give people enough time to register for class. So, and these will be like short classes. So it won't be anything like what we did last Saturday. I'm talking about maybe an hour on a specific topic. So if you all will, outside of, what we discussed in terms of taking control of your legal person. What other pressing issues? I know a lot of people need to set up trusts. I can do a trust class if y'all need me to, because I know a lot of people, need to get that set up. Does anybody on here still need to learn how to build business credit? Because I remember y'all asking me about that before, but if y'all want me to speak on it on this channel, I can, but I already have videos out there about business credit on the education platform. So that's very, very precise. That'll walk you through the process. The only difference is now just being able to discern, making it more of a strategic approach in terms of what banks you apply to. You know what I mean? Yep. Yeah, I can definitely do that. So someone asked about me doing a trademark course. That's definitely being worked on right now, and just walking you through the process step by step, because you can't do that yourself. You don't need it, anybody to do it for you. Okay, I'll look her up. I'll definitely look her up. That Divine Legacy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the thing of the matter is there's still a reason why you would want to build on an entity, even if it's your sole proprietorship, your DBA, because you can still build business credit on your DBA. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Read between the lines. Read between the lines. Yeah. But yeah, y'all, I'm about to get off here. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I'm super tired. So, yep, I just wanted to come and spend a little bit of time with you. And I will see you all in the next video. Y'all have a good evening. Make it a great weekend. Peace and blessings. Thank you for spending some time with me tonight. I definitely had a ball. I'm going to go ahead and end, and I will see y'all soon. Deuces.